Hey everybody, happy holidays. Kyle here, and I want to show you today my favorite DIY ornament. Now, when it comes to the DIY process, I'm not your advanced level. I'm kind of a beginner, and I'm learning, and I like to kind of try new things. With this project, the expenses for the materials is very low, and the skill level is pretty low, but also kind of the opposite of that, the level for fun and for personalization and the things you can do with it, and you can take it in a different way. Sky high. Perfect project for me, right? Here's what we're making. This is the inspiration. It's an ornament, you can see there, covered in fabric with a corresponding yet contrasting fabric trim. This is the tree, this is the star. What makes this kind of fun is that it's not just fabric, it's got this coating on there that makes it feel kind of stiffened and kind of cool. So I wanted to see if we could replicate this process. These ornaments are from it's a global girlfriend. It's a group in Bangladesh that kind of helps disenfranchise women and children. You'll see how we're going to get our charity angle included in a little bit later. First, we're going to talk about the materials. Here's what you need. Here's what you got to do. Now, what was fun about this is I took this project home with me for Thanksgiving, and after the big Thanksgiving dinner, we decided to kind of sit around and just see if we could kind of do this on our own, and we totally did. Here's something that we made there on Thanksgiving.
And you put oil on it.
And you put it on your tree, right? And here is another version. We did this tree. See your little jingle bells up there. So it was super fun, and it almost might be a new tradition for my family, so maybe it might be for yours too. Let's have a look, see what you think. First of all, we needed to select a shape. Now here's what I found for you. A couple of different options. From Michael's, you can get these cutouts. Can you see that there? And they're actually wood, so we have a tree, and we have a star, and they even have things like ornaments and even hearts. So we're going to select our shape first, and then you select your base. Now, as you see on these, it's all covered in fabric, so your base can be whatever you want it to be. I found a couple options there too. Obviously, you could use this wood itself as a base, which is fine. I kind of like using it just as a template for future projects. That way you buy it once and then it's good to go to use year after year as you like. So in terms of the material for the base, I found this as well. This is foam. Purchased at Michael's. Super inexpensive, under $1 for this whole sheet. Comes in colors too, which could be useful. Now, these are all good options. Another thing, because I like the DIY effect and I like the recycled effect and I like the use what you have effect, I decided to try this. This is a moving box that I had and saved. So it's cardboard, obviously, super inexpensive and super repurposed. So I'm actually going to do my base to be the cardboard, and we'll see how that works. How about that? All right, super easy to start. I'm going to start with a star, and all you're going to do, get your trusty Sharpie here, and you're just going to trace the outline on and into the cardboard. Now, one thing I like about this project is that it's not super at all complicated, and there's a lot of wiggle room. There's a lot of room for mistakes. So as you see here, as I'm drawing on this star, I'm not even worried about getting Sharpie on the wood part, and I'm not worried about these lines being perfect either. Then it's time to cut it out. Alright. Now, if you did want to maybe do this, if you find yourself liking this kind of project, or if you're getting more into the do-it-yourself stuff like kind of I am, kind of very basic right now, but kind of want to do more of it, you might want to invest in a decent pair of scissors. It'll just make things go a little more quickly for you, and the end result will obviously be better. Now with our shape selected, all cut out of our base, now it's time to choose the material. Now, of course, you can buy fabric. Lots of gorgeous patterns and textures and shapes out there. I decided to go another step towards the use what you have thing, and except for this, I used an old shirt. This is a shirt I actually had already in the kind of the Goodwill recycle bin. Obviously with a green stripe, thought it would be appropriate, and it turned out pretty well. I'm going to do the same today. I'm going to take my trim from this shirt. See, I like this shirt. Didn't like to wear it, but I like the pattern here. So I think that'll do nicely on the star we're going to do. Alright, so that's good. Got it kind of oriented like I want to. So I'm going to fold this over and cut out both sides at once. Now I do kind of want to align, because of the pattern, I want to align it. So I will do that. And then trusty Sharpie. This is not sponsored by Sharpie, by the way. Going to draw a pattern yet again. I like the do-it-yourself stuff, but sometimes you spend a lot of money on the products you need, and then you might not be so confident in your skill level. But the point is, it's kind of supposed to be fun, and it is to learn and get better every time. It's just easier to kind of take that plunge when the materials you're working with aren't that expensive, and when it doesn't require you to be overly precise, if you're me. Now we're just going to cut it out of the fabric. We're going to use this Mod Podge to affix the fabric to the base, but also, and you can't really see it on our versions here, this fabric has a coating on it that makes it a little more stiff, a little more less, it doesn't really feel like fabric, although obviously it is. It's kind of a nicer finished quality. But you know what does that? I learned from the lovely Michaels clerk. The Mod Podge will do that too. So we use the Mod Podge for the base, and then Mod Podge for the actual coating on the fabric. So any kind of product that does double duty, big fan of mine. Now if you're like me, and if you're a beginner in the DIY process, you probably don't want to have a lot of space to kind of keep your products. Again, the scissors are a good investment. The Mod Podge is going to last forever, great. I needed something to apply the Mod Podge, so I found this little spongy brush. Lovely. See there? There you go. Inexpensive, like 50 cents. So I won't feel bad about using it for our project today and then getting rid of it, not having to save it and clean it and do all that stuff. Not as ecologically friendly as I want to be, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. Alright, nonetheless, we're gonna take this, we're gonna give it a little Maji Panji action. Just coat it. Get it all up in there. Alright, let's see. I'm going to start with the edge here. Just lightly lay it on there. The good thing about the fabric is it's very forgiving, so you can kind of pull and twist as needed. Alright, side one complete. Now it's time for side two. You kind of hold it in the center and just work your way. Radiate out, pushing those bubbles down. And because we're going to put Mod actually on the whole thing once we're done, it doesn't matter if you get it too gloppy, and it doesn't matter if the glue comes through. It doesn't matter at all. So the trim, as you see here, and as you see on the one that we did, it's just going to go around the edges, and you're just going to tuck the tops of the corners and just kind of keep zig-zagging it. Now, if you're a little advanced, I didn't know this going into it. My mother is advanced in this stuff, and she told me. If you cut your trim, they call it on the bias. Now that means kind of the fabric is woven a certain way. So if you cut diagonally to that, it'll give your fabric a little more give. It won't be so bunchy and so kind of rigid. Alright, so I'm going to take this back side of our trim, and we're going to Mod it up as well. Just right down the trim. And you just take your trim and go down. And you're not going to need to do any twisties or anything. You're just going to align it on these sides and then just push the middle part down. And we'll go back after and apply some more adhesive, some more Mod, and make sure those ends lay down. So as you're going around your last edge, see here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this little space. We're going to put our hook, our string in there. Now this is hemp rope. It's probably more expensive than it needed to be. I just want to kind of twine or jute. Couldn't find it at the moment, but this will work at a pinch and obviously will last forever. It's a huge ball here. So I'm going to pull out just a section of this. It doesn't need to be precise. This is what we're going to put our bell on, and this is what it's going to be kind of our hanging rope. All I'm going to do is let's go half C's here and trim the extra off in a bit. Go half C's, and this little loop is going to go underneath the top of this trim. So basically our trim's gonna seal it in there for us. Now if you have some sides that aren't as flat, some edges really, little bouffons that stick out. What we're gonna do now, just to get them extra clean and neat, is to seal those edges down with a little more Mod Podge. And of course they sell beads. I kind of wanted to go for bells. That's what I did. Make it your own thing. And when you just string your bell onto one side here. Alright, so we got our bell, we got our trim, we're looking good. Now our last step is going to give it a real finished kind of look. Don't be scared about this is easy. It's going to turn out real nice, I promise. You get your Mod Podge and you paint it, oh yes, all over the ornament. And it kind of acts as a fabric stiffener. Again, this is really fun craft. Obviously great to do with kids and nieces and nephews and stuff like that, but I don't know, like I told Carisha about this and kind of showed her what we're doing, and she said it'd be really fun to do like at an adult party, almost like have a station of materials around and have some extra fabric, and it can be kind of fun. I mean, like any idea that, especially at a party that where the focus is not less wholesome activities, I could use help with that. Maybe it's a good idea. I'll lean up against the deal here and let it dry. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes and we've got our dry ornament. Here it is, y'all. Lovely fabric and our contrasting yet corresponding trim. Very fun, very festive. Now the only thing I could say we might want to top it off with is, because the idea was from www.globalgirlfriend.com, it's a group in Bangladesh that helps disenfranchised women and children. They have their information on this tag. I thought, how nice would it be is if you're giving this to someone else, put their information on a tag like this and affix it to the back. That way word about the charity goes even further. And of course, I don't think the Global Girlfriend people would mind necessarily if you put your own charity, if you have a charity of choice, their information here too, and just, nice little extra layer of something on your little gift. Alright, we got our finished project here. We got a little jingle and bell. It is ready for the tree. It is ready to be included kind of on the package of a gift that you're going to give. It's super fun. You might want to write the date on the back. That'll be really cute too to kind of keep the tradition going. Hope you found some fun ideas here, maybe some inexpensive ways where you can kind of make things your own and kind of, I found it very relaxing to do projects like this, especially in the hubbub of the holidays. Hope you do too. Alright, with this very special holiday treat week project, I'm Kyle Collins. Happy holidays. Y'all be good.